Start Building Me, folks, my nightly training session to get you into the healthy habit of diet and exercise. I am going to do this until I see a change in the data in the healthcare system, because it drives me nuts that 60% of the healthcare expenditure in the West goes towards sedentary lifestyle and overconsumption. Two things that can be easily avoided if attention is drawn to them. Since big business and the government are not going to do it, I've taken it on myself to do it myself, to convince you all that diet and exercise is mandatory. It's not a choice. It's not like, oh, that's for athletes or that's for supermodels. It's for everybody, folks. You've got to diet and you've got to exercise. And people, abuse the terminology and, how's the word? They basically confuse people and say, oh, diets are temporary. It's, you should explain people nutrition. It's like people use jargon and throw around the terms. The terminology is irrelevant, folks. Like I said, when zoologists are studying groups of primates, they look at the group's diet, right? They're not talking about apes drinking tab with leg warmers at the gym, doing jazz ballet or something like that. It's not like that sort of diet. It's just their nutrition. They're interchangeable words. So there's plenty of charlatans out there. Jazz in the house. Good to see you as always. Trying to confuse people, folks. It doesn't have to be difficult to explain what I'm doing. Whilst the clock's on, let's walk and talk. The bot's back in the house. How about that? Bot is back in the house. Just had to switch it on. I don't know why it switches itself off. Maybe AI. Maybe it killed itself because it doesn't want to be the Stream Labs Start Building Me bot. I cannot blame it, especially when it's competing with me. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the first few just really stretched my glutes. That was great. I've been doing a lot of different exercise all day, and it's just good to blast out some of those muscles with a good old squat, folks. Whether you're sitting down on the edge of the bed, sitting down on your chair at the office. Welcome back, bot. That's it. Don't give it any ideas. Yeah, that's right. It's annoying because it's 7 for me all the time, because we started this, Jazz and I started it, I guess it wasn't daylight saving, and then, or was it 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock? I can't remember, but in the end I was going to the gym at 6 o'clock, which was your 7 o'clock, and I kept on missing it. So I think we put it back an hour from 6 to 7 or something, because Jazz as always works quite a long time. But yeah, long story short, folks, as always, if you do not work your body will not work. Now, this is a fact. There's many studies that explain to you that your biochemistry doesn't work without exercise, right? So, like I said, you can get dragged kicking and screaming into the den of exercise and dietary if you want, or you can just do it willingly. Not necessarily with me. As I'm trying to explain to you, folks, I would be happy once you get the message to go away. I don't want heaps of viewers. I don't want heaps of money. I just want you to know that you're being played. You don't be somebody else's. Don't be brainwashed by other people's culture. Make your own. As Terence McKenna famously said, make your own culture, folks. Don't consume garbage out of the bones of the dying world, or something to that effect, is what the legendary Terence McKenna says. My favorite quote possibly of all time. Definitely up there. I also like, if you think education's expensive, try ignorance. That's pretty sweet. I can't remember who said it. 1, 2, 3, hands out if you want to counterbalance. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, shoulder stretch. Blood's pumping good, real good. Low heart rate, low resting heart rate during my sleep. Some wild dreams last night, though. Didn't enjoy that one bit. Woke up to Keith's backbone pressed against my spine because I don't know why, he just wanted to sleep close, as he sometimes does. Little dingo rat. My tendons are healing. Before I jump in the cold tank every morning, I'm just doing some chin-ups. I really want to get back into rock climbing, and as soon as I get back to rock climbing, I'm going to do my first rebuild video in over a month to say that I'm getting back into it. And not for 2 hours at the gym every day this time. Not at this neo dust collecting, neo boomer era, rather. Gotta start being a little bit more gentle with my body. Sucks, folks. Even when I'm hitting the heavy bag now, it looks more like that. Can't bust up my wrists, my hands, I need them for work, so I've got to go light on the bag. But I can hit the floor to ceiling pretty hard, that feels good still, so you know, you got to do whatever you can do. And for me, unfortunately, it's not as much as I want to do. And now that's a big problem that I know Sal Star Jump well knows. Folks, as you get older, you've got to maintain this, else once you stop, it gets really hard to keep going again. So that's why I'm trying to convince people from a young age or who are coming back into exercise just to do a little bit every day. And that's why I'm sounding like a broken record, sitting back into your heels. Arm going out as a counterbalance. As you can see, I like folding my arms a bit better. I never forget to breathe. We're not form sticklers here at Start Building Me because, as I said, I'm just trying to get people into the habit of exercising, right? Don't want to scare people away with their form stickler garbage. So many people that I used to train with who are nitpicking everything out of every single movement. Where are they now, bro? Hey, where are they now? Come at me. Just joking. Most of them are overweight and don't train anymore. And that's my whole point. People who listen to Dr. Dave, not because I'm a medical doctor, because I can't think of anything clever to attach to that. Not a huge fan of doctors, folks. I don't like going to the doctors. As I've explained to people a lot of the time, doctors' virtue is not intelligence, it is obedience, folks. To become a doctor, you need to be obedient. Got to follow everything to the T to keep in line with your professional indemnity insurance, else they're in big trouble. So you're not going to get many wise words out of somebody who can be punished for telling you something that goes outside of the system, folks. As they say, do not speak ill of the program. But, you know, in this litigious, insurance-riddled world, that kind of makes sense. I always like the evil doctors who tell you the goods anyway. Man, I think I got too much sun on the back of my neck. I can feel my spine radiating. 7 minutes in the house. Doing sets of 5 tonight, as you can see. Also doing a bit of side stretches like that, stretching the inside there of my hamstrings, and had my percussive me so litigious. I saw that just before I looked down. Yeah, I love that. I had my percussion Theragun, my percussion massager, and was just nailing my hip flexors. That sounds kind of not PG or general audience for my Start Building Me audience, but I can assure you it was. Those muscles right there. So you're swinging them, trying to release some of the tension that you harbor in there. Makes walking and running a lot easier. Grip strength is the most important strength after cardiovascular strength. I do not talk about it on Start Building Me daily training sessions unless asked. That's why stay tuned. Grip strength is indeed the cornerstone to strength. After your heart, I'm focusing on the heart in Start Building Me because, folks, that is what will kill you. If you do not exercise your heart, it will kill you. Statistically, there's no way around it. So, without further ado, I'm going to try a few wide stances. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice big clunk in my hip. Falling apart, folks. I do not want hip replacements, so that's why I'm trying to keep mobile, trying to drop a bit of weight, trying to make sure that I'm not going to be the person sitting in hospital bed wondering why they didn't exercise earlier. Are you? You shouldn't be, because like I said, willful ignorance, folks. It's pretty stupid. Like, this whole concept came from me as a computer scientist, thinking of the game theory element of complete information, which is a game theory scenario where every market participant is privy or aware of the same information as the next market participant, as we all are with an internet connection. Now, there's a lot of subversion, a lot of sales pitches out there, messages trying to sell you stuff, and that's where I come in. I'm trying to pull you back, show you the different key terms to search for, and get you off onto the right path so you can find stuff like the Andrew Huberman Labs podcast, or Peter Attia, or other people who are online presenting factual and legitimate information online. And hey, Joe Rogan's one of those people as well. And I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time for Joe Rogan and think he's an imbecile. I don't know why personally. I think he's amazing and his platform is awesome. And you know, the people who don't like him saying things like this on his platform should probably get their own platform then, which is usually what they say in a retort to me when I tell them that, you know, if you develop your own platform, you should use it as you see fit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shake out those legs maybe, folks, and breathe as always. Breathe. So look, there's a lot of information online. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I just want to get you started, and then you'll be able to understand what key terms you should be searching to find actual decent information online. And there's plenty of it online. There's so many awesome trainers on YouTube, Instagram, who aren't trying to sell you stuff, who aren't trying to get you to sign up to their programs and stuff. And look, there will be plenty of people who are as well that do give good information. So I shouldn't sell those guys short, but you just don't have to spend any money, is what I'm trying to get the point across, is that with a bit of walking, with a few push-ups, with squats, man, and just focusing on carbon in, carbon out, as Dr. Andy, sorry, is it Andy Galpin? Dr. Galpin, let's just call him by his surname. Dr. Galpin. Dr. Galpin, I can't remember what his first name is. Anyway, carbon in, carbon out, as opposed to calorie in, calorie out, which is what I believe is true. People dispute it. And to hell with them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some mild foot adjustments there. Feeling good. Breathing. 12 minutes in. I'm going to go to 20 minutes and then do 5 minutes of squats. So 25 all up today. And I'm watching Creed 3. Dogs are sleeping on the couch. It's mutiny. I got kicked onto the life raft, aka my swag mattress. So I guess I'll be watching the rest of Creed there. Sanity's taking them to the beach tomorrow. You can put them on a life raft and push them away. They're getting a tiny bit fancy for my liking. Just joking. I've made them fancy because I like the attention. Dale just comes up and stands. He sort of knows that I sense him and does that dry bark where he just knows he doesn't even have to bark, he's going to get my attention. And sometimes, come! This means pay attention to me, you dirty human, pat me. Oh, I've got the blood pumping through my body, through my legs. Typical Australian in the house. Good to see you back, my friend. I'm just here for another 10 minutes, so make it worth your while. As I always say, folks, you can get a mad workout in 5 or 10 minutes. That's the whole point, right? Is that you are, obviously, as I always say, we're competing against ourselves and our performance yesterday. So you're not competing against me. You're just sort of watching what I'm doing and seeing that we can get the blood pumping through our bodies, and then go drink beer afterwards for all I care. Go have Maccas, like really. There's worse things that people could be doing. But you can reward yourself, which is not a good way to phrase it, but nonetheless, you can just go off and do anything in your life if you want to do so. Just get the blood pumping through your body, because as I said, it improves your hormone balances, it stabilizes your hormones, improves your digestive system, your digestive abilities. It will help you sleep, it will help you breathe, it will help you relax, it will reduce your anxiety, it will reduce your chance of depression. It will increase your lifespan. Man, I could just rattle off all these all night, so why even bother? I should just be doing what I'm here to do, which is start building me as well as you. And as I said, we're all on a different path in life, but one thing is for sure, folks, your body does not work if you do not work your body. And I love saying that because truer words will never be heard by you in your life, other than, like I said before, if you think education's expensive, try ignorance. I think that's a great one. Can't remember what the other one was already. I'll have to look back at my own stream to remember my own. Well, it wasn't my quote. 2, 3, 4, 5. Shake out your legs. There's like different Tai Chi artists who like are dudes and they're just like doing like different frequency pulses with their whole body. And apparently that is just what it takes to get the blood flowing through your body, to cleanse like your liver and your kidneys and stuff like that. And I thought about it for a second and I thought, it's true. Like, all we're trying to do is move, right? What was my pompous statement that I texted you, Sally Starjump, the other night? It was something like, this movement is everything, or the only movement. The only movement is a t-shirt I want for Start Building Me. This is the only movement, folks. Like, the only thing that really matters is whatever way you can get your body to pulse, to get moving. It doesn't really matter what it is. There's way too much emphasis on, you got to do powerlifting, you got to do bodybuilding, you got to play sport. You don't. You just have to move in some shape or form. I'm trying to show you efficient ways and traditional ways of movement, but whatever you really do. Yep, your hips are getting more flexible. I've got to be careful that I don't over squat, and like I do what you see AFL players or ballet dancers do, you either hold somebody by the shoulder or hold a doorknob or a rail. I'm not going to do it here, else I'll fall over and tear down my green screen. But yeah, you can sort of swing out your hips, relax your hip flexors. Hey, look, my coordination and stability is not too bad afterwards. After all, you can see, as guess who's back? Heat stroke Dave. Way too much UV today. And it's very unflattering light, which means you can't see exactly how brown I am, but it's kind of getting ridiculous. Anyway, 3 more minutes on the clock. Let's do a few squats, get the blood pumping. We'll do 5 minutes of push-ups and then get out of here. Nice short week this week. Well, kind of. Not really. I wish I was going to the beach tomorrow with the hounds. 2, 3, 4, 5. But as I always say, with Start Building Me, the reason I pick squats and push-ups is because they're just exercises that you do every day, and most people do them really poorly, really uncoordinated. And so I just want you to become mindful of the movement, what's involved, and just try, we go through the 4 stages of competence: unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, unconscious competence, and conscious competence, right? So, a lot of people stay in that unconscious incompetence phase, poorly or very uncoordinated for their whole lives. They're never thinking about what they're doing. As I say, shoulder width apart, line it up, looking straight ahead, breathe in, sitting back into your heels. The weight goes to the outside of your feet, which is why we have arches in our feet. We breathe in. By doing this, folks, you'll keep your back neutral. It means you're not going to blow out your back by rounding it out like that and doing damage. And you'll be able to keep on training. You won't get a bad back as you get older because you're not going to be one of those people who ends up going full fetal and back into it. You just want to think of what you're doing. Be mindful of what you're doing. And I know it's a buzz overused phrase, the mindfulness of everything. It irritates me. I'll get you. But nonetheless, there is some truth to it. Like Homer Simpson, I get easily explosive. So always think about it. You're sitting back into your heels, weight's going to the outside of your feet, driving your toes as well. Breathe in. Maybe have your hands crossed like this. Very simple, something you do every day, I guarantee it. And have See little kids, you know, sitting down there to play with toys and stuff like that. We get out of the habit of doing that, but we really shouldn't, because especially in the bottom of that contraction, you've got a lot of tension everywhere in your body. Isometrics, i.e. not moving, is a very, very solid way of training, something that gymnasts do, just hanging statically without doing repetition. That's what makes your muscles really strong. That's the myofibril, the white muscle mass inside the sacroplasm, which is the red muscle mass, which gives you endurance. So everybody's so focused on that red muscle mass, which is really good for endurance, good for bodybuilding, good for protection, not that much else. Those myofibril strains, the inside the muscle mass, that's what gives you the strength. That's just single hangs, no repetitions. Repetitions make you big, hanging makes you strong. Isometrics, Google that one if you want to get more information about that. We'll keep watching the streams. I just thank and appreciate it. I love this stuff, and I've been doing it for my career, and I've been doing it for fun for about 20 years. And like I said, I am gobsmacked by how little fitness coaches and trainers and even doctors know about this stuff after speaking with them and working with doctors for nearly 20 years. So I just figured, hey, I've got time to do this during my own workouts, pump some iron, get some blood, and go in and speak to people like yourself. So thanks for coming along and listening. And as always, spread the good word. People don't need to come here. You can parrot what I'm telling you and get other people out there to do the same thing. So please, by all means, I'm not doing this for the engagement. I am terrified about people who are engaged to other people when they should be engaged with themselves. Anyway, let's do some push-ups, get out of here. I'll be back tomorrow, as always, apart from this long weekend, which I had to take off because I wanted to sit around and do nothing. Turned out it wasn't a very good idea, but it was still fun nonetheless. What did I do, apart from absolutely nothing? Went to the casino and had a swim. Watched the UFC, that was cool. Tense your butt, folks, look up, shoulder width apart, spread your fingers. It's one of those counterintuitive things. Spreading your fingers is actually sending a message to your brain that you want to do something stable. Don't forget we've got that dexterity, tactility in our fingers that will make us, they're sending a message through to our brain, just like our feet. Our feet have just become numb to that tactility due to the fact that we're always wearing shoes. Our feet have evolved around our shoes, which is a terrifying way that somebody put it. I can't remember who said it, maybe Dr. David Sinclair. Love him or hate him, and all his crazy supplements. Another dude that knows some quality stuff as well. So that gets the blood pumping. And I brought my water bottle tonight. In kangaroo formation here on the startbuilding.me floor. The hardest thing I drink these days is Hydrolyte. Of course, the purple grape. I'm not a savage with those orange ones. Orange lime or whatever they are. What do we got on the clock? 24. Bust out a few more. And that's again my point, folks. Consistency is way more important than intensity and duration. I would stand here and talk all night, but unfortunately I've got stuff to do these days. And even when I had the time, as I said, I don't want to be engaging people. I want people to be engaging themselves. This could get me shadow banned after this Easter week. I don't think you're alone there, typical Australian. My family are the same. I'm just isolated from them at the moment, so I was spared. Because, man, That was a good thing about bodybuilding, is you can really be a prize pig. Just eat all the time and pump iron. It is a good life. But as a bodybuilder, sleep is also important, and you're just tired all the time because you're pressing weights all the time. So as fun as it is, first time chatter in the house, ducksaur. If it has anything to do with ducks, I approve. Because other than ducks, dogs and ducks are the animals of my choice. The preferred animals of startbuilding.me. Anyway, you're late. Sorry, because I have got to do some stuff tonight. But I will be getting into more streaming over time. Bowser's Big Bean Burrito back in the house. Good to see you as well. Some of our regulars are back. It's good to chat, folks. Good to see some people, some liveliness, some spirit. Show me that you're here. Show me that you're alive. Even if it is just to insult me. Call me a dust collecting old neo boomer, because that's exactly what I am. You cannot only blame the boomers when you're a dust collecting millennial like me. I would wager that the millennials have done just as much damage to the planet as the boomers. I'll take the Pepsi challenge against those filthy boomers any day of the week. I worked through the 2008 recession. Where's my medal for destroying the planet? It was wild times, folks, before 2008. Corporate world, as an old corporate consultant, managerial consultant. I've got blood on my hands, but that's a story for another time. No comment. I don't want to get shadow banned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing to see here. This interview's over. So I'm doing a few sets of 10, and I'll bounce. Good to see you all in the house, though. As always, love to. As I always say, just regurgitate, parrot all the messages that are pent up in my head about health and exercise and diet. All the statistics that I used to go over as a data analyst in healthcare are all important. And as I said, I used to think everybody's lazy, everybody should be exercising and dieting. And then I just realized that there's a lot of subversive material on Google. There's a lot of lies, basically, and just ads. People are trying to sell you stuff, so people don't really know what to believe anymore. And I thought, yeah, that makes sense. That's actually, critical thinking, really, is that people don't know what to trust anymore, and that makes sense. And so, I mean, don't trust me, but that's the point, is that you can go with some basic key searches or key term searches that you can apply to Google, ChatGPT, whatever, and read a bit more about it and see what you think about it, like macronutrients, and you're split between protein, fat, and carbohydrates, exercises, interval training, basic walking as my favorite exercise of all, low impact, awesome for burning fat. You can listen to tunes or listen to podcasts or audio books whilst you're doing it, and get out of the house. First and foremost, like I said, I am not here to engage you. I want you to get out and exercise and realize that if you are being engaged to something too much, then all you're doing is wasting your own energy. You should be engaged yourself. I put it to you folks that you're probably way more interested than all of these twits that I'm seeing, including myself, on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So please, for the love of God, get out there and live your life. I'm glad that I sort of grew up before the whole Facebook revolution, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, because I find myself on Twitter just scrolling through it, doom scrolling as they call it. And then you just even I'll snap out of it. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And then I'll be back at it 5 minutes later, and I'm just like, this is insane. I can't imagine growing up with this. And I think, the younger you are, you've probably got a better handle on it. I think that's why you see all the boomers outraged on Facebook, is because they don't know how to handle the new technology. And I'm a little bit better than them, but still pretty terrible. So anyway, exercise. All right, 10 more. This is a long session. We'll get out. I'm going to do another stream on dumbbell exercises as well. I am a firm believer that if you can strengthen your hands in the beginning with some dumbbells of any weight, doing slow curls of various forms, improving your arm strength and your grip strength will mean you can do more push-ups, do more chin-ups, and it's just a good base start building me tool as well. So we're doing that. During dinner, I can spend 20-30 minutes absorbing health and fitness information I never knew about. Well, that's awesome, and that's exactly the whole purpose of this. Typical Australian is I literally just used to think everybody should know this, and then it occurred to me a few years ago, like, why? And then I was just like, oh yeah, like everybody's not you idiot. Maybe figure out a way how you can communicate this information and make it as simple as possible that anyone can understand it, so then that person can take it and pass it on, which is the whole point of it. So I'm stoked. I'm really glad that it is of use to some folks. But alas, I'm going to go and drink water. I'm sort of getting sunstroked out, but I'll be back tomorrow at the same time as always with my rhetoric about exercise, health and diet. Stay until you are proficient with my talking points and you have also Googled them or ChatGPT'd them and asked them to verify what I'm saying. I am guaranteeing you any robotic AI will agree with me because, folks, I am half alien, half robot myself. To do the dumbbell stream, yeah, awesome. Well, hey, to be continued. Let's discuss what time works. It could just be a once or twice thing, stream a day. I could do it just straight after this and just do another 20 minutes in it, in the stream, so I'll do that. But until tomorrow, folks, I am out of here. Lots of love as always, wherever you are in the world, watching here live or on repeat. Like I said, don't absorb other people's culture, create your own, folks. I can't remember the exact quote, but you are probably the most interesting person that somebody else will speak to today. Really consider that, you know, like I said, stand up, not only for squats, but stay away from engagement. Have a great night or day, wherever you are, folks, and see you tomorrow.